a vote PDP. Full time we try to face Mr. Marley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Kick out pressure pot rolling. Vote, vote. This I don't know, this I don't know, this I don't know true. Vote, say we a vote. Full time for them get this I don't know, this I don't know true. Vote, vote. What me say? This I don't know, this I don't know true. Vote, vote. Kick out pressure pot rolling. Right now we are say Watson D for the east, Tasha B for the west.
Whoa!
PNM, you know it was a lie. What you did to me was a sin. Just like that, you deceived me. And now, I cry because you have failed me. How dare you look for me after you betrayed me? Now, I have to walk away.
Sabes bien que fue un engaño, que me hiciste un pecado. Así mismo me engañaste.
Another one.
Y lloras hoy porque fallaste.
PDP, you're the best.
Trataste de buscarme después que tú me traicionaste. Ahora tengo que alejarme.
People before politics.
Busqué la forma de olvidar.
Yeah.
Tell me why, oh why PNM makes you cry every night. I don't know why, oh why. I think you're too loyal.
Under the PNM whip, I still hear them say, them is die hard PNM till a day. Is this the same PNM we give we hell? We make we go down on we knees and beg. Everything them ask for Tobago, we give them PNM, THA and central government. But yet still, we can't catch ourselves. Sea bridge, air bridge, agriculture debt. Taxpayers wanna know where 40 billion went. How much gone in the pocket of PNM friends? Cause all we see, the chief with a new BM. Few box Jane and a little pavement.
Tell me why, oh why. Do you ride, do you stick by the side? PNM makes you cry every night. People, I see the pain in your eyes and don't know why, oh why. Oh. Tell me why you. I think you're too loyal. I think you do too much. PNM does nothing for you, girl. They're not real. That ain't the way love's supposed to be. PNM is not the one for you. What's in you, PDP will show you.
PDP, you're the best.
God never get to beg more than we can take. Just from this PNM will honest. What's the lighter with the hammer? From the PNM empire. PDP, they gonna get the figure. Mandate from the people, we'll deliver. Webster, Page in Champa. This is the end of your tenure.
Tell me why, oh why. Tell me, PNM makes you cry every night. I don't know. Tell me why, oh why. Just tell me why, oh why. Tell me why, oh why. Tell me, PNM makes you cry every night. I don't know why, oh why. I think you're too loyal.
Under the PNM whip, I still hear them say, them is die hard PNM till a day. Is this the same PNM we give we hell? We make we go down on we knees and beg. Everything them ask for Tobago, we give them PNM, THA and central government. But yet still, we can't catch ourselves. Sea bridge, air bridge, agriculture debt. Taxpayers wanna know where 40 million went. How much gone in the pocket of PNM friends? Cause all we see, the chief with a new BM. Few box Jane and a little pavement.
Tell me why. inside, BNM makes you cry every night. People, I see the pain in your eyes and don't know why. Tell me why you. I think you're too loyal. I think you do too much. BNM does nothing for you, girl. They're not real. That ain't the way I'm supposed to be. BNM's not the one for you. What's in you, PDP will show you.
PDP are the best.
But never for far too long. Tobago been crying out. PNM completes the next term and we still crying out. PDP forever and ever. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a disaster. Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games. Hey! East and West, please listen to me. Prepare either way, it's 2020. Watson, Duke and Tashia Boris. Flush away, pen them in the toilet. All they want is we vote and to full their pocket. But people before politics, that is we stick. The needs of the people is the priority. How much roof done cover, fisherman boat fix. PDP forever and ever. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a displeasure. No. Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games. Hey! Vote Watson in the east, vote Ashia in the west. Tobago, don't hesitate to drive the X. Drive it like you're fed up, drive it like you're vexed. I said to drive it like when you break up with your ex. Smoke Shamfa and Ayana from their Balizanes. And when the ballots are in and EBC done check. What a celebration in Roxborough complex. Watson take the east, Ashabi take the west. PDP forever and ever. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a disaster. Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games. Hey, fuck.
Right now we are say Watson D for the east, Tasha B for the west.
Straight out in a star.
Yo, this I no joke. Vote. This I no joke. Vote.
You see right now.
This I no joke. Say we a vote PDP, cause we want betterment, yeah, for we country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. PNM them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Full time me try feed Duke, Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, me a vote PDP. Kick out, pressure pot rolling. 5 years no worry session. Tell me with the L pressure pot. Roll it up on him, not give it with the right, but him a take it with the left. And tell me with the LTH, he do it 2.2 billion. And the people in Tobago, pure sufferation. And the worst government me ever see govern. Raging bull with no direction. All me a see a just bad intention. And me na talk no lie, me a speak the truth. From Kelvin Charles signing them upon you. Now I walk up on the road and him a try get the youth. The whole of them a just blow. Talk the truth, me nah talk no lie. Instead them risk me, only food I get and poor people a cry. Me ask them why. And we a vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Cause we want betterment here for we country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. PNM them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Full time we try to face Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Kick out, pressure back rolling. PDP, I just the PDP. PNM, no do nothing for we. Positivity, it burns all negativity. PNM, they only comment with the negativity. Don't get caught up in the light, they put the branch of eyes to see. Look how long, PNM are blind, we never want. We know the truth about what them do with money. So kick out, pressure back rolling. Vote PDP, we are vote PDP. Cause we want betterment, yeah, this is no joke. Vote PDP, we are vote PDP. PNM, them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we are vote PDP. Full time you try to face Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we are vote PDP. Kick out, pressure back rolling.
It's time to take Tobago higher. With
Dr. Melanie, Dr. Finn, Curtis Douglas, Nyron Leon, Alicia Patterson, lift Tobago, Carrie Lynch, Nikisha Martin, Avenel Beard, Dr. Ned, Teacher Folly, and Wayne Clark, lift Tobago.
It's time to take Tobago higher. PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher. It's PDP, we rising higher.
Police officer, every soldier, firefighter, the nurses, the doctor, every health worker, lift Tobago. Every mother, every father, grandpa and grandma, school teacher, every pastor, lift Tobago. Every sector, URP worker, CPEP, the cleaner, the fisherman, the farmer, lift Tobago.
It's time to take Tobago higher. PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher.
Speyside, Roxborough, Bell Garden, Mount St. George, Collar Hall, and Lambo, lift Tobago. Mariah, Lescato, Bethel, Mount Pleasant, Black Rock, and Canaan, lift Tobago. Yes, in collaboration with Izzy.
The technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
The handwriting is on the wall. PNMU Empire, it done fall. Tobago, the oppressors you see today, don't worry, tomorrow they'd be gone. As the walls around Jerusalem, soldiers surround Tobago. PNM let his people go. PDP Spartans face off with Pharaoh. We fight for a change. Tobago, we need a
The
change.
technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
We fight for a change. Tobago, we need a
The
change.
technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
We fight for every child, every family,
The
and
technocrats
every
are for you. We will fight for you.
fight for every. Yes, in collaboration with Izzy.
The technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
The handwriting is on the wall. PNMU Empire, it done fall. Tobago, the oppressors you see today, don't worry, tomorrow they'd be gone. As the walls around Jerusalem, soldiers surround Tobago. PNM let his people go. PDP Spartans face off with Pharaoh. We fight for a change. Tobago, we need a
The
change.
technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
We fight for a change. Tobago, we need a
The
change.
technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
We fight for every child, every family,
The
and
technocrats
every
are for you. We will fight for you.
fight for every child, every family,
The
and
technocrats
every
are for you. We will fight for you.
Tobago called for 6 candidates, 12 valiant soldiers, full of integrity. PNM, Tobagonians not afraid of victimization, protected by the higher man. As the walls around Jerusalem, soldiers surround Tobago. PNM let his people go. PDP Spartans write the concession speech. Goodbye. Vietnam, goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. We can breathe a sigh of relief. Return to surf Tobago. Them can't tell me who to vote. Vietnam, your heart cold. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. Black is the color that we chose. We're not wearing no red clothes. It's PDP turn to surf Tobago. You can't tell we who to vote. PNM your heart cold. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. We're not wearing no red clothes. Black from me head right down to me toe. PDP came long from Roxborough to Charlottesville, celebrating with the PDP queens and kings. The next stage executive. Now come out of your house no matter where you live. Black. Vietnam, goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. We can breathe a sigh of relief. Return to surf Tobago. Them can't tell me who to vote. PNM your heart cold. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. Black is the color that we chose. We're not wearing no red clothes. It's PDP turn to surf Tobago. You can't tell we who to vote. PNM your heart cold. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. We're not wearing no red clothes. Black from me head right down to me toe. PDP came long from Roxborough to Charlottesville, celebrating with the PDP queens and kings. The next stage executive. Now come out of your house no matter where you live. Black t-shirt, black flag, black achieve. Shorty go provide. Your 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. Black is the color that we chose. We're not wearing no red clothes. It's PDP turn to surf Tobago. You can't tell we who to vote. PNM your heart cold. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. We're not wearing no red clothes. Black from the head right down. Tell them right the concession. Goodbye, Vietnam, goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. We can breathe a sigh of relief. Return to surf Tobago. Them can't tell me who to vote. PNM your heart cold. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. Black is the color that we chose. We're not wearing no red clothes. It's PDP turn to surf Tobago. You can't tell we who to vote. PNM your heart cold. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. We're not wearing no red clothes. Black from me head right down to me toe. goodbye. Bye bye. Tell them write the concession speech. Goodbye. Vietnam good. neglect Tobago. Black is the color that we chose. We're not wearing no red clothes. It's PDP turn to serve Tobago. You can't tell we who to vote. PNM your heart call. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. We're not wearing no red clothes. Black from me head right down to me toe. PDP came long from Roxborough to Charlottesville, celebrating with the PDP queens and kings. The next day, your executive. Now, come out of your house no matter where you live. Black t-shirt, black flag, black achieve. Shorty go provide the food and drinks. Dr. Mel gone with some crab and dumpling. Don't be shy, tell me why you drinking. PDP turn to serve Tobago. Them can't tell me who to vote. PNM your heart call. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. Black is the color that we chose. We're not wearing no red clothes. It's PDP turn to serve Tobago. You can't tell we who to vote. PNM your heart call. We gave you 4 terms and you neglect Tobago. We're not wearing no red clothes. Black from me head right down to me toe. Bye, bye, bye. PNM goodbye. Goodbye, 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 bye, bye, bye. Write your concession speech. Tobago. We're praying for election to reach. Write the concession speech. Bye bye, so we could breathe a sigh of relief. For far too long, Tobago been crying out. PNM completes the next term, and we still crying out. PDP forever and ever. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a disaster. Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games. Hey! East and West, please listen to me. Prepare either way, it's 2020. Watson, Duke and Tashia Boris. Flush away, pen them in the toilet. All they want is we vote and to full their pocket. But people before politics, that is we are stick. The needs of the people is the priority. Too much roof done cover, fisherman boat fix. PDP forever and never. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a displeasure. No. Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games. Hey! Vote Watson in the east, vote Ashia in the west. Tobago, don't hesitate to drive the X. Drive it like you're fed up, drive it like you're vexed. To drive it like when you break up with your ex. Smoke Shampa and Ayana from their Balizanes. And when the ballots are in an EBC don't check. What a celebration in Roxborough complex. Watson take the east, Tasha B take the west. PDP forever and ever. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a disaster. Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games. Hey, hey. For far too long, Tobago been crying out. PNM completes the next term and we still crying out. For far too long, Tobago been crying out. PNM completes the next term and we still crying out. Still crying out. Still crying out.
Right now we are still Watson D for the east, Tasha B for the west.
Straight out in a star.
Yo, this I no joke. Vote, vote. This I no joke. Vote, vote.
You see right now.
This I no joke. Say we a vote PDP, we a vote PDP, cause we want betterment, yeah, for we country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, PNM them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, full time me try feed Duke, Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, me a vote PDP, kick out, pressure pot roll it. 5
5 years, no worry session. Tell me with the L pressure pot. Roll it up on him, not give it with the right, but him a take it with the left. And tell me with the LTH, he do it 2.2 billion. And the people in Tobago, pure sufferation. And the worst government me ever see govern. Raging bull with no direction. All me a see a just bad intention. And me na talk no lie, me a speak the truth. From Kelville Charles signing them the pan you. Now I walk up and the youth and them a try get the youth. They would like them a just blow me a talk the truth, me na talk no lie. Instead them respect only food I get. And poor people a cry. Me ask them why. And we a vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Cause we want betterment here for the country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. PNM them never do nothing for me. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Full time we try to face Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Kick out pressure pot rolling. PDP, 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 I just the PDP. PNM, no do nothing for we. Positivity, it burns all negativity. PNM, them only come in with the negativity. Don't get caught up in the light, they put in front your eyes to see. Look how long PNM a blind, we never want. We know the truth about what them do with money. So kick out pressure pot rolling. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Cause we want betterment, yeah, this a no joke. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. PNM, them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Full time we try to face Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP. Kick out pressure pot rolling. Vote, vote. This a no, this a no, this a no joke. Vote, say we a vote. Full time for them get this a no, this a no joke. Vote, vote. What me say? This a no, this a no joke. Vote, vote. Kick out pressure pot rolling.
It's time to take Tobago higher. With PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher. With PDP, we rising
Yes, good morning, folks. It's time for us to take Tobago higher. It's time for us to take Tobago higher. Take Tobago higher. Take Tobago higher. Today I'll be spending the next 2 hours talking about Tobago's development. Today I will be speaking about Tobago's development. Where does the PDP sees Tobago? What type of Tobago do we envision? And you would be able to discern whether we have been listening or we have been doing our own thing. Today is a day to take off the blinders. Today is a day to get a pen and paper to write down. And I'll take these earphones off because I want Tobago to know that it is man, meaning human being, that bring changes to our world. Human being bring changes to our world. You see, even the Bible gives testimony to that. When God was tired of talking in the book of John, said his word became flesh and dwell among us. A man's word is an important thing. A man's word is an important thing. And I've looked at several people who claim to mean what they say and say what they mean, but you can judge them. By your fruits, you shall know them. I want to say to you today, Tobago and Trinidad and Norway and England and Miami and Brooklyn and all over the world, Caribbean, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Lucia, people have been listening. People have been listening from around the world. I want to say to you, Tobago, and wide the world, that change is coming to Tobago. And it is coming through normal human beings with an extraordinary thirst for development. One of the first things we're going to do upon entering office is to remove from your mind the idea that you owe the government something. We want to remove that from your mind. And we want to take the ordinary man, the ordinary woman, and place them on a pedestal so they could understand their true worth. Every man, every woman out there, you are the highest public official. I will address back. I will say it again. Every man, every woman, you are the highest public official. They will never teach you that in school, nor will you see it on TV. Do not discredit who you are. Do not undervalue your purpose. Do not undervalue the fact that you were made in the image and the likeness of God. You are more than just a simpleton. You're more than just a slave. You're more than just a peon. You are a human being. And there's something called human dignity, human value. The first thing what the government will seek to do is to cause human all of Tobago, and I say Trinidad, to understand your value. If you do not understand your value, you run the risk of selling yourself cheaply. And there are many Tobagonians and Trinidadians who sell themselves cheaply around this time. If $5 wrap up in a dirty, red, stinking jersey, they sell themselves for a bottle of cheap liquor. They sell themselves for the promise of a URP work. They sell themselves just to get the phone number of who they think would be a boss. I'm here to say to you this morning, Tobago and Trinidad, know your value. Man, know your worth. It's the first thing we're going to seek to do. How are we going to seek to do that? By allowing you to understand that our victory was because of your effort. Anytime you see a Watson Duke, a PDP, a Tashia Boris victory, it is not because of money. It is not because of the elite. It is not because we matriculate from some university with some brand name. It's not because your dress or your cologne. It's not because of your family name. It's because you, the ordinary citizen, repose confidence in us. And if you hire me, then you are the boss. Let me take some music, you're not. I say, if you hire me, then you are the boss.
Rising higher, it's time to take Tobago higher. The PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher.
Yes, it's time. It's time to take Tobago higher, people. It's time to take Tobago higher. If you hire me, Tobago, you are the boss. And so shall it be from the 9th of the 10th. You must see yourself as the boss. Every rude boy upon the corner, every rude girl upon the street, every gardener, every housewife, every taxi driver, every worker, every single man, regardless of your social station, regardless of your academic achievements, you must perceive yourselves as the real government. And who you are hiring on the 10th, it's an executive to run your business. I want to repeat. Who Tobago goes to hire on the 10th, there are people to run your business. And if you feel those little children from the PNM who are fronting themselves for a certain political group in Trinidad, if you feel they're fit to run your business, then hire them. I'm clear, you know. Elections are always fair because people get the government they deserve, or they get the executive they deserve. And I'm going to tell you, I have offered myself. Tashia Grace Boris has offered herself because we want the work. Read my lips. We want the work. We want to work for you, Tobago. We want to be a servant. We want to wait as a waiter upon you. When you go to a restaurant and you sit, from the time you go to a restaurant, they usher you to your seat and you take a seat. And then the waiter come to you and wait upon you and ask you if you want something to drink. Do you want to start with water? Do you want alcohol? Do you want a fruit drink? And they wait for your answer. Then they will ask you, what do you want to eat? And you may say, send me the menu or give me the regular stuff. Yes, Tobago, we are there to wait on you. And when they have finished serve you at a restaurant, they pull back to the recesses of the restaurant and they wait on you and they look at you. They give you eye contact and they try to feel you. As Bob Marley said, they will try to suss you out, try to evaluate you. And if it look as if you're finished eating, they come across, are you finished, sir? If you look as if you're not happy with the meal, they come across and they ask you. They say, sir, are you happy with the meal, sir? We'll change it for you. Tobago, on the 10th of August, when you go to the poll, you will be electing someone to work for you. Ask yourself whether those who have applied for the jobs, whether they have met the qualifications. You have seen some of them performed in the job already, and I'm not happy with their performance. But here we are to perform, and I'm saying to you, give us a chance. Give the PDP candidates for Tobago East and Tobago West a chance. Give Tashia Grace Boris a chance, please, in the West to represent you. Give Watson Solomon Duke a chance to represent you. And here is why. Tobago has not taken off at all. As a matter of fact, Tobago of the 1700s was far more developed, I'm telling you now, than Tobago today. Because those folks, the British who came here, they came from a highly developed society. And what they met in Tobago was more or less an emerging society. It wasn't fully developed. And they came with their advance in travel, their advance in communication, the advancement in networking. They came with all of that. And they were able to make Tobago an agricultural success story. If Tobago was not a success story, then those who were here, those slave drivers, the British, the French, the Hollanders, the Dutch, the Spaniards, you call them out, those slave drivers would not have engaged in slavery. But Tobago has always been a profitable place for agriculture and trade. There were several ports of trade in Tobago. Tobago today does not have one single port where it can conduct trade. Tobago today, I repeat, does not have one single port where it can conduct trade. In Tobago, there is a CARICOM jetty that never works because all the CARICOM boats go down to Trinidad. I guarantee you, Tobago today, one of the things that we will achieve, not in the first 100 days, but in the first month, the first 30 days, one of the things we will achieve is the re-establishment of the CARICOM jetty in Tobago. And Watson Duke does not care if it's one bunch of banana or two plantain. We do not care if it is 2 buck. Whatever it is, let the CARICOM boats come here and let them sell what we want and let them buy what we have. The amount doesn't matter. The principle is what matters. I say to you today, Tobago today is worse than Tobago of the 1700s. There was more trade taking place in the 1700s between Tobago and the wider world than takes place today. What does Tobago trade with the wider world? Ask yourself that question. You're voting for MP in the East, MP in the West, show girl. You know, but what? What have they done to advance Tobago? How are we trading with the wider world? How are we trading with the Caribbean? Are we trading with Trinidad? Apart from the few bleating sheep, the few bleating goats that we have, men goats, we have here, what do we have? The world continues to laugh at us simply because we have nothing to trade. But in the 1700s, the 1800s, even in the early part of the 1900s, up to the time when that evil Dr. Eric Williams took over, Tobago was trading well. But from the time they took over, Tobago began to go down. Tobago began to go down. One of the greatest time of Tobago's development, most of you don't know, was in the 1930s. You see, the 1930s, that was the last big time of Tobago trading. Tobago was used to produce things like lime oil. There was a lime factory in Roxborough. Study the importance of lime oil. I want someone to follow for me and find out what lime oil is. I'll give you some music. It's time to take Tobago higher, I'm saying this morning. That's the theme. It's time to take Tobago higher. And when I'm finished, if you don't like what I say, then don't listen to my station again. All right? But the first point I'm making, we must begin trading again, at least with the Caribbean, within the first 30 days. And I do not care whether it is 6 buck, 2 Michelle, 2 Georgie Porgy fish, 3 old wife, whatever we have for sale, that is what we'll offer to CARICOM. And whatever CARICOM has for sale, they will offer to us, but they will do so on our soil, right at Scarborough. Mark my words, mark them. Take this, Junior. Yes, it's time for us to take Tobago higher. So mark it down. What did you promise that? At least I promised that. Give us those 2 seats and we will re-establish the CARICOM jetty on our soil. Trinidad wants to trade. Let Trinidad bring its goods up to Tobago. We will buy things on our soil. We will buy things on our soil. We will trade from our soil. Our port must be a port of trade. Why is it that you must wake up 4 days morning to catch a 6 o'clock boat, take a 3-hour rough ride to Trinidad, shop around and jump and come back up on the boat to sell goods? And I said the goods cheaper. What about your physical health? What about your mental health? What about the wear and tear on your body? This is why we need to re-establish the CARICOM jetty, which is already there in the Scarborough port when we enter office on August 10th, you put us into office. The benefits of that is tremendous. It's many. It means that we can now engage in trade. You can sell clothes, you can sell your hair dyes, you can sell anything that Tobago is producing, any single thing. And the cherry nectar could come and you engage in bartering. There's so much we can do. How come we want to build a cove without re-establishing the CARICOM jetty? We have a CARICOM jetty in Scarborough. Why is it not working? But leave that right there. One of the things we're going to do, and it's for the taxi drivers, we will ensure that those persons with the bread van, those persons with the white kind of bread van that does taxi work, that they are respected and they are not molested by the police within the first 30 days. So them bread van men who hustling, they must be respected by the police. Yes. And anybody who is pulling bull with a picker will also recognize you also too. Because we want to know those who are pulling bull with a picker and those who are running taxi with the H car. All is at work. But we have to do it orderly and respectful and with the knowledge of those in authority. You see, we don't want a man to just rent a car and say, come and pull bull here. Or to borrow a man can't say pulling bull. You have to be registered. We want to have Tobago organized in a way that makes sense, a way that we can plan and develop our future. So the taxi men, the maxi men, and this thing when they talk about maxi rights, you want to go in Trinidad to get maxi rights and all kind of madness. And listen to me, we will be given more maxi taxis rights. We will be giving more cars, H cars, and those who want to remain bread van, remain a bread van, or a P car, remain a P car, but there will be advantages and disadvantages. Those who are in the taxi, they will have certain advantages. Those who are in the P car, the pull bull car, they will have certain advantages. Those with the maxi, they will have advantages. And those with the bread van will have advantages. There are advantages and disadvantages in everything. But we don't want the police to molest you as if you are criminals. That comes to an end in the first 30 days. And then we want to speak to those car drivers still. We want to enter a contract with Works that there will be no pothole in Tobago in the first 30 days. No pothole in Tobago for the first 30 days. And for Wassa, I'll be a serious man. For Wassa, if Wassa dig up the pothole, they ought to fix it back the same day or else they will be charged. And every month, we'll be taking them to court because they can't dig up the road and leave it. It is time Wassa learn to bury its pipe properly and secure it properly. We are not playing with Wassa. I ain't going to governance to ramp and skin, you know. I'm not going to governance to play anybody friend, you know. I'm going in there as a man who is under the authority of the public. I'm going there to work as a servant and a servant of the people. And I've heard the people complaining. I've heard them complaining that police are harassing them and trying to pull a little bull. I say pull a bull in a dignified way. I've heard people complaining about the pothole mashing up the car. I've heard people complaining about Wassa doing a poor job. And I'm saying, Wassa, time to do your job. I ain't playing with all. I'm not ramping and skinning, nor petting and powdering with Wassa. This stupidness, we're talking about dry season, things hard. You can't get water. I don't want to hear that, you know. I do not want to hear that from Wassa. You have pipe in the ground, run the water through it. Find the water. It is Wassa's job to find water, win the water, and send the water through the pipelines. You as a citizen, it is your job to turn on the tap, get your water, and pay for it. Pay for your water. And Wassa is supposed to collect the money. We are not playing games after the 10th. Game's done. Seriousness. Why? Why? Game's done. Because it will be time to take Tobago higher. Yes, it's time to take Tobago's higher. And who vex? If you don't want me to get work, I tell you straight. You don't want me to work, don't give me the work. But when I go to work, I'm a serious man. With whatever I commit myself to work. And I repeat, we will re-establish the CARICOM jetty that is in Scarborough. Let those ships come down here and drop off whatever goods they have, and we will sell whatever goods we have, whatever banana, whatever chenet, whatever pomsite, whatever we have, because Tobago goods are brand name goods. We have the most organic things in the Caribbean. Let's sell it right there, right in Scarborough. We're not playing jokes. Let's sell it right in Scarborough there. You have to carry a pig and all kind of thing in Trinidad, or sell a pig next to nothing because marketing board don't want it. No! And I'll come to marketing board because they are in my first 30 days. Me ain't going to no 100 days. That's waste time thing. 30 days. Men asking for manifesto. Listen to manifesto here. Listen to the manifesto. All right, down. Because it's recorded here. It has been recorded. We're not hiding. In the first 30 days, that's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. Count the rest. 29, 30. The first 30 days on the 10th, starting on the 11th, Tobago will change. We are re-establishing the CARICOM jetty so folks can trade. Yes. We are going to protect our taxi drivers, maxi drivers, those who hustle the bread van, the white van, those PH drivers. We are going to protect them from the harassment of the police, right? And we are also going to ensure that we put systems in place that they don't just do it without any commitment to the state. There must be a commitment to the state. There must be an order to certain things. We're going to get into that. Then we will engage with works to ensure that in the first 30 days there is no pothole in the entire island of Tobago. No potholes, none. That's the first 30 days. Hear me? Then after that, we ensure that WASA does not dig up the road and leave it. That's important. They love to dig it up and leave it. I don't care what they're doing. I'll take the funds and I'll sue them. I'll sue WASA for digging up the road and leaving it just so. All right? You have to fix a pipe, but don't dig it up. Don't dig it up. Lay all the pipes properly. And I used to be a WASA employee. I'm still a WASA employee to an extent. I don't get paid, but I'm a WASA employee still on the records there. Some assistant manager, some nonsense like that. I'm telling you this, WASA will not get away. WASA has to do its work. Then we want to ensure, going beyond that, apart from fixing the main road, when they dig up, WASA must put water in all the pipe. WASA must put water in all your pipe for you. It's not good enough to say that dry season come. When it is rainy season, they should make most of the water that is accumulated in the dam that is running through the streams. And when it's dry season, they should ensure that you all receive water, and I see on a 24-hour basis. But I will take my time with that. I will give WASA 1 year, the first year, to give everybody water in Tobago on a 24-hour basis. The first year. So from August 10, 2020, and I want your mom to write this thing down for me, please. Get up and write down these things for me, please. From August 2020 to August 2021, there will be 24-hour water supply in all of Tobago. Mark my words. I ain't playing with WASA. I'm not playing. All right? I'm not playing with WASA. I'm not playing. I'm not playing with WASA. Mark my words today. WASA, I'm not playing with all you. But I've been playing the fool for too damn long. Time when I get somebody to give account to. Because when my people elect me to do a job, Wasn't doing a job. Then, in the first 30 days, remember again, go over again. So if you're not listening, remember going over again. 1, we are re-establishing the CARICOM jet in Scarborough. Let us conduct our trade right there in Scarborough. Buy and sell right there in Scarborough. Too much wear and tear, anybody running down, coming back up, running down, come back up. No! Let the CARICOM boat stop off on the jetty right there. Right? And let us, in Scarborough, collect our goods and then go into that with the rest. Let's buy our goods first in Tobago here. The second one, PH drivers, them little bread van bus drivers. We're going to regularize you all. There are going to be certain advantages and disadvantages, but we don't want police to be harassing you all because you're pulling bull. You're trying to earn a food. You're trying to earn a living. We don't want that. If it is something else, they have all the right to harass you if you're engaging in folly. But once you're trying to make a living, an honest living, we don't want them to harass you. All right? That must not be something they could pull on you. They're trying to look for food for your family. We're fixing that. Maxi taxis, etc. That's the second one. The third one, within this first 30 days, there'll be no potholes in Tobago, none. That is this thing for them jokers in infrastructure there. We have quarry materials here. We have places where they could mix the asphalt here in Tobago. We will get that up and running in the first 30 days. First 30 days, let's fix all potholes. We will bring some equipments down and have that up, no pothole. Point number 4, if WASA dig up the hole, you have to fix it back. Or else at the end of every month, we'll take every pothole outstanding and we'll sue them. We'll sue WASA. And if they break, they break. They can't damage up you to damage up man's car, even a pothole to bust man's tire, and pretend you know nothing about that WASA. All the crazy, you have been getting away with murder in this country for far too long. And I am here to represent my people. My people say they don't want a pothole. We don't want a pothole in the country after I come into power and Tasha Grace Boris come into power. That's point number what I say? Point number 4. Point number 5. We are saying WASA must have no excuse for having insufficient water in the dry season. And I'll tell you why. In Singapore, there's no river. In Singapore, there is no river. In Barbados, there is no river. In Bahamas, there is no river. But they always have water to drink in them places. Always have water to bathe and to do the basic things in these places. Singapore, there's no river. So you come and tell me you have so much rivers here, so much wells here, that we spend plenty money for, to win the water, to treat the water, and send the water in the pipeline. We're scratching the head and saying, boy, he's dry season, the real tough boy. So he's only dry season for Tobago alone. I'm to Grenada, I'm to Barbados. I'm to Bahamas, it's only dry season here alone. Stop them for the chat, WASA. The first 30 days, I want an action plan that will ensure everybody gets water during the dry season. Everybody. I'm a serious man. If all of them don't know, Washington Duke is a serious man. I like to make a little kicks, little jokes every now and then. When coming to work, call me Walk Jumbie. I mean him. Walk Jumbie. Any kind of work. I want to work. It's in blood. So you hire me for the job. You hire Tash. We're going to work. That is number 5. Then we are going to continue our roof repair program because we're still in the rainy season, ensuring that we not only repair the roof, but we secure the roof with tie straps, etc. So that you can lift off your roof. We secure your windows and all of these things. How are we going to do that? We are going to have a serious conversation with the THA. Sometime when I have a THA that is paying them and representatives that are not THA just play the fool. THA feel they could do what they want. I want to let you know something. I said earlier, if you don't want to hear, that the human being, the residents of Tobago, you're the highest public official. And if it's THA hiring men to sit down holy and talk stupidness, talk fat, I'm not on that. Was you not on that? These men will be the men who have to learn a skill to go and fix roof, fix things in home. We have to get Tobago working. We have to get Tobago good. We have to get Tobago back on track. Don't come and tell me you just go and sit down, line, talk stupidness. I have no material, no truck can come. 4 months, take it easy. So, is a vote bank or? I will personally sue the THA because the THA is a corporate body. Yeah? It could take sue. If you don't know, the THA is not a state. THA is not a state within a state. THA is a corporate body. It's like a business. So if things bad, you can sue the THA. And many folks have sued the THA already. When teachers couldn't get their gratuity, they sued the THA and they got the money. So why can't we sue the THA for wasting the human resources? Because the best resource for any nation is a human resource. It's a human resource. So we want to get point number 5 or 6, I see.
7.
All right. Wait, point number 6?
7.
Wait, number 6.
Continue repairing.
We're going to continue repairing roof. Point number 7. See, all them workers in Tobago, and do nothing when the time come. You have to work. I mean, talking as if me and business chief secretary, I go there. Chief secretary don't know what time it is, because I go in as prime minister. You are saying to you? I am going after the 10th of August. I am prime minister of this country here. So we want to see Tobago working again. We want to see people productive again. As a human being, you just feel good when you work, when you do something constructive. And it is our responsibility to ensure that the work you are doing, you are properly equipped for it. 1, you are equipped for it. 2, you are trained. All right? And you have the mental faculty to get it done. So we want to see all them guys who idle on the roadside put in some work and get our community up and running again. Now, there's some other things we want to establish. In the first 30 days, with some big issues now, I will be ensuring that the first or second bill that goes to Parliament would be an amendment to the THA Act. You hear me? The first or second bill, not past that, the first or second bill that goes to the Parliament will be an amendment to the THA Act, because that act they have in 1996 is a foolish act. It's a waste of time act. That act is only good for a glorified Lord. If a man want to make himself Lord. But we require our Chief Secretary to be far more accountable to the people of Tobago than just to drive around in a BMW, rock back and look as a Lord. We want to know what Chief Secretary is actually working for Tobago people. So point number 7, I think it is. Point number 7? Right. So point number 8, I write it now. Point number 8. I have all these things in my head here. Point number 8, we are going to amend the THA Act, and here are the areas we are going to amend. We are going to amend that we're going to put in the THA Act the amount of money we want from the central government. All right, point number 9. I'm going to run them through for you again. Point number 9 is we are going to amend the THA Act to ensure that central government gives Tobago 10% of the national budget. We don't want 5. We don't want 6. We don't want 7. We don't want 8. We're not taking 9. We're taking 10. 10 figure. 10% of what the national budget is. If it's a $50 million budget, $50 billion budget, $5 billion goes to Tobago and 45 to Trinidad. Don't ask me to work out the maths. The maths is in the underdevelopment of Tobago. Trinidad deliberately kept Tobago underdeveloped for over 100 years. Over 100 years. When Hurricane Flora came and devastated Tobago, almost wipe out Tobago, you know what happened? The United Nations sent money for Tobago. America sent money for Tobago. But the wicked doctor, the first Dr. Evil that came about, took the money and used the money for social programs in Trinidad. Yes, the first Dr. Evil under his dark glasses. Dr. Evil under his dark glasses and the white thing in the ears, I call it no name, use the money for social programs in Trinidad. Check all your history. If you don't know your history, you'll be destroyed by your present. So we are saying, for allowing Tobago to be a place in abandonment, allowing Tobago to be in this low state, we will be accepting from Trinidad 10% of the national budget. That's point number 9. Well, that's the first amendment. Right? That's still number 9, right? The first amendment, we want 10% of the national budget. The second amendment is that we want all of the money one time. All. A-L-L. All of the money one time. We don't want no quarterly payments. We don't want no quarterly payments. We want all the money one time available for us. Put it in the treasury and give us access to it so we can draw it down and use the money. The third point, under point number 9, number 3, under number 9, there must be strong and strict accountability. There must be accountability to the people of Tobago. And as such, every month, the Chief Secretary must, and I'm talking about a PDP Chief Secretary, Farley as Chief Secretary, must address the people of Tobago on the state of the finances of Tobago. We're not waiting until a crisis. And that's a full address. You must know how the cookie crumbling. We're talking transparency. We're talking participatory democracy. Yeah? He must address, and that's my Chief Secretary. I will vote for Farley as my Chief Secretary come January 2020. Because we ain't fighting no money under them wasteful, evil, money squandering, money Satan, paying people here, you know. They can't handle money. You see what they did with Sanctuary? You see what they did with Manta Lodge? They can't even handle money. Most of them are a bunch of paupers. They don't even know what $1 million look like in their life. Paupers! You put in paupers to handle money? What do you expect? For years, ever since poor people running this country here, they can't develop the country. All they could do is filter the money back to line their suits. I ain't calling no name. So we must have accountability. And the first accountability is not from the Auditor General Department. The first accountability comes from the person who is in charge of Tobago House of Assembly, reporting to Tobago on a monthly basis on the things that was pursued, the things that were achieved, or on the percentage of achievement. The things pursued and the percentage of achievement. He must give a report. Because you hire him, you know. You hire me too. This is the amendment of the THE Act. So it's not up to anybody to feel so. It is up to the law to enforce itself. They must give a report on a monthly basis to the nation, a financial report, not a political report, a detailed financial report, so Tobago must know how the money is going. We will also amend the THE Act to have people, have citizens, what we call appeal to the petition, rather, the THE. And we can amend the Act to have citizens petition the THE. These are not new ideas. These are ideas that Dr. Vanessa James, I sat down and we talk about for a long time. They always are wrong. But nobody has the balls. I mean, the marbles. The marbles I'm talking about. the marbles to get it done. So point number 9. Number 4. We under the amendment still. I'm going like a Pentium chip. I'm going fast. We will ensure that the public could petition the THA on any matter of public importance. And we will be asking for a minuscule of 1,000 signatures. 1,000 signatures is enough. You could petition the THA. It means that the THA must sit more than once a month. Right now, there's a bunch of lazy black men and black women we have up in THA. As I watch their face, I see how lazy they be. When I hear how they're talking, just like the Godfather, we have man and woman talking slow, as if it was some kind of tonic, some kind of bionic tonic inside that place. I hate to hear the talk, just crawl my skin. And we don't, women talking, and we don't know if it is the grant, we're gonna get 5. I heard this talk. Man, and them dragging the words. You know the teachers meet once a month to put their hand on the floor and say, we want to move a motion that comes out to be nothing. It's a waste of time, please. Call it THA. They have simply been, I want to use nice words, playing with themselves. That's what they've been doing, playing with, like a child at play. Playing with themselves, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, folks. I'm talking plain. As I was to just talk, plain. We must have the THA meet every single week in session, every week. It will meet every week in session, as it sees fit. Every week. But when they meet people, they must meet. All right? What's the last point I make again? I just want to build from that point. Right. When they meet every week, I want to wrap up that point, the petition point. If they have at least once a month, they will have that door open for the public to raise an issue once a month via petition. I say so because we're talking participatory democracy. Some folks want democracy. Well, this is democracy. 1,000 persons could petition the THA to have a matter discussed before it. And once those signatures are just and true, the matter will be discussed. Yes. Yes. People, in other words, must be able to speak through their representatives. That's point number? Yeah, 9. 9, right, 9. All right. Now this is point number 9.4. 9.4 now. 9 brackets 4. The THA representatives must have a constituency meeting once a month to give account to their constituency, whether it's PNM, LNM, or whoever. They must meet with the constituency once a month. What we are talking, people, what we are talking about is people before politics. Take this stupid politics out. I could care less if you love me or hate me. I don't care about that. But I care about the fact you respect me as a human being. Because we're talking human dignity, human value. Every human being has a value. Don't undervalue any human being here. You are the highest public official. So while the chief secretary reporting once a month on financial matters, all right, the secretaries or the assemblymen must report to the constituency meeting once a month on the development of a constituency. All right? Those things must happen. And point number 9. When we talk accountability, also, we want to have inside here that there will be an Auditor General Department in Tobago, specially designated to audit every aspect of Tobago finances. All right? The Auditor General Department in Tobago, we are as Prime Minister, I'm demanding that on the 10th. As Prime Minister, I'm demanding that. whether laugh or not, I'll be Prime Minister on the 10th. When you give us a seat, I'll explain to you after I make number 10 this point here. I'll give you this point after. We want to ensure the Auditor General Department, and that's in the Act, assigned to Tobago here, must be able to audit every government business that operates in Tobago. You see the thieving? It has to end. See the corruption? It has to end. And I tell you this, anybody who is caught in corruption will make jail under my time. It has to be cut out completely. No man is perfect, but that's why you have a place called jail. If a man is not perfect. This is why you have a place called a church, if a man is not perfect. This is why night time must come in, so you can sit down and reflect on your own life if you're not perfect. You cannot steal money from the state and think it's a good thing. Nobody must steal money from the state. And this is my point. Do not steal money from the state. Do not steal money from the state. Because when you steal money from the state, you are denying people wheelchair. You are denying people medication. You are denying people housing. You are denying people the right to public transport. When you steal money from the state, you are denying people the right to having a developed nation status. So I'm not supporting stealing of any kind. I hear some foolish, I'm calling people foolish, some foolish people saying, I don't mind if the government thief as long as they fix me. But I say you are a thief too. I mind if the government thief. I mind. Work for what you want. Work for what you want. So here what is point, the last point I want to make. There are many points I want to make, but I was going to stop here for a while. Under the amendment of the THA Act, the salaries for those in THA must be determined by THA. All right? By the people in Tobago here. It must be determined by the people here. I do not believe in paying government ministers minuscule salaries so they thief. They must be paid well. So nobody thief. I do not believe in ministers or government assemblymen being without homes. All of them must have a home. All of them. At least they must be guaranteed a home. A state home, that is. Many be a luxury home, but a state home. Because if these are people who are working, who are serving, they must be guaranteed certain basic necessities. There are many people who don't have a home. And I in THA, they're underpaying them. But they are foolish people. They're dotish. They're working for a party, engaged in all kind of foolish activity, and they don't have a home. I can proudly say I built a home long before I get into governance. Long before I get into PSC, I built my own home. And I'm thankful for that, for the wisdom and the forthrightness that I was able to muster as a youth man growing up. Positive. We want to ensure that those who govern Tobago are not without a home and not without a decent salary, because if all a thief, Matma was all making the jail. If all a thief, all making the jail. And I'm not talking about old talk thief, you know. If you have stolen monies and we see where you're stealing monies, where you misappropriate funds and they are not accounted for, you're making the jail. And I don't care who. If I do the same, I must make the jail too. Because misappropriation of public funds can never be a good thing. That money is for the public, for the woman who's sick, the man who's blind. That money is for the woman who's getting trouble to mind her 10 children. That money belongs to you. Well, tell me about. It's okay if a thief as long as me get something. I don't want to hear that. If all of vote for me, all I get a worker. If all of vote for Tash, all I get a worker. We're talking about cutting out the corruption. And I want to go to number 10 and pause there. So we're going to amend the THA Act to do those things. Hope you're right eligible so I could reach, right? I'm going to repeat everything for you in a while. I'm going to reach number 10. And the last one, I want to put on the table for now. Right? We're talking about the first 30 days. The first 30 days. In the first 30 days, so let me read and I'll get the last one. You finish it for me? All right, let me get some music there. Why we doing this? We want to make Tobago high.
It's time to take Tobago higher. With PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher. With PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher. With PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher. With PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher. With PDP, we rising higher. It's time to take Tobago higher.
All right, my people. I am here as your servant. And I'm offering myself, Tashia Grace Burris. She's offering herself under the political organization PDP to serve you. In the first 30 days, men said the first 100 days, nonsense. Nonsense. We are not taking 100 days to start to work. We're not even waiting until THA election comes to start to work. From the time you put us there, we will start to work. So point number one. Point number one. You don't have it yet, Miss Lady. Point number one, we say the first thing we'll do is to re-establish the CARICOM jetty. Because I am a worker. We will re-establish the CARICOM jetty. Point number one. So persons could trade right here in Tobago. Point number two. We said in the first 30 days there'll be no potholes in Tobago. Point number two. There'll be no potholes in all of Tobago. That's point number two. Point number three. If Wassa dig it up, they'll have to fix it back immediately, because at the end of the month, we'll currently potholes Wassa dig up, and we will sue them. That's point number three. Point number four, I still on Wassa. I said, Wassa will have to start providing water in those lines. And so, we want to see a dry season plan in the first 30 days from Wassa that will ensure water run as normal during the dry season. And we want to see a plan from Wassa also, whereby at the end of the first year, there'll be 24-hour water supply in Wassa for every single body. Wassa has to do work. I'm not playing with Wassa. That's point number four. Point number five. I spoke about the PH drivers. I say all PH drivers and all bread van drivers is white things running up and down the place. I said we want the police to stop harass you. We want you to make your money in a dignified manner. But we are going to put rules in place. Draft up the rules. We're going to have the maximum, the taxi men, etc. They're going to have certain rules to their advantage. And the PH man and the bread van man, they're going to have certain rules to their advantage. But they will not conflict with each other. We want to put that, that's point number what, say? 5, right? Come to me, please. Then point number 6. We said PDP will continue the repair of roof or homes throughout the rainy season to ensure that nobody is left in a position where they feel unsafe during the rainy season. All right? Point number 7. We will be ensuring that those who are doing the morning work do not sit down and idle and talk and go back home. They will be put to work. And the work must be meaningful work, in that some of them will be retooled, some of them will be reschooled, they'll be given the resources and training, etc., to help people fix homes. So when you're fixing homes, you don't have to pay someone to help you fix your home. I believe homes Housing is a human right, just like breathing fresh air. And you're entitled to that, and it's not a gift, it's not a privilege, it's a human right. And every man, Jack, entitled to be in a safe and secure home, especially during the rainy season. When the winds are howling and the rains are dropping, you must feel safe and secure. So I put into Tobago has to work. Those who don't see people work on all this madness, man, I don't know what them stupid say for, you know, squatting grass, picking up trash. Those things will be contracted out. Picking up grass and cutting things. Yes. But the real work is what we want people to do. But we want people to start fixing homes. Women must learn how to take care of homes. And we must look to our neighbor must look to us, and we must go back to making Tobago a place where all of us feel as if we are family again. We must end the estrangement, end the distance, where you don't feel like you're whopping on sugar, you want some oil, you're afraid to ask your neighbor. Ask your neighbor. Nothing wrong with that. We are one family. If your iron break down, go buy your neighbor, get iron. Nothing wrong with that. We have to bring back the love in Tobago. And so I'm saying again, all this thing a man sitting on the road doing nothing, or they pick up a broom and sweep 2 meters and say I sweep. Those will be specific tasks. But we need to have real work done. Nobody will lose their jobs. But I'll come to that. That's point number 10. Let me get to that point yet. I'll talk about jobs and all that kind of stuff and the economy as number 10. So point number 7 is that we will redeploying some of the CPEP, URP and development workers to fix people's homes. Point number 8, we will be amending the THA Act. That is point number 8. And under point number 8, there are several areas we are going to amend. So come to with me. Point number 8, we are going to put in the THA Act that 10% of a national budget goes to Tobago. 10%. That's 10%. Sometimes the budget is 70 billion, meaning 7 billion for us. 50 billion, 5 billion for us. That is 10A. Sorry, 8A. 8B, we are saying that the Chief Secretary, whosoever he is, and we prefer that January coming, you make Farley Chavez Agustino Chief Secretary, will be addressing the nation on matters of finance on a monthly basis. It will be televised live in Tobago because we are going to have our own telecommunication system here. We have our own TV, our own radio stations. Some people feel as if they alone have radio station. And cutting style. We are saying they must have about 10 of almost stations in Tobago. Have plenty radio stations. Open up the economy. Let people get radio stations in Tobago here. And they are unique to Tobago and Tobago alone. Those radio stations will be unique to Tobago alone. Alright? So these young fellas who have these little internet radio, be prepare yourself under the PDP government to come and get your radio license. But I ain't going all there yet. So I'm just saying the Chief Secretary should be addressing Tobago matters of finance via our telecommunication systems. Yeah? So the public can get an account. We're talking reporting to your masters, the public. That's how we're going to lift your standard up and let you know you must hold us accountable. Then we are going to amend the THA Act also under 8C so that with 1,000 signatures, any group, any person in Tobago can come together and have at least once a month a matter raised for public debate. Anybody can come and have that. At least once a month. They can have matters raised for public debate. Alright? Hope you all have that down there. That is getting the people involved. We're talking participatory democracy. So that's how we had the Sanders issue. You don't have to wheel and horse. Just get 1,000 signatures and the matter is debated in the House. Alright? The matter is debated. We have the airport issue. Have 1,000 signatures and the matter is debated. We're talking the PNM can't talk at it now. The wicked people can't talk that, you know. You know what they talk? Folly. Folly. What's the joke? What's the joke? And I work with something for them. They're chewing on my name like Wrigley's. Wrigley's chewing gum. Every day is what's the joke? I'm not chewing gum in the mouth. We are talking productivity. We are talking putting the power in the hands of the ordinary citizens. All right? We are also saying that every single month, the THA assemblymen must be able to meet with the constituency. And that's how you can get to read. You must be able to inform your assemblymen what points you want them to raise. Talk to your assemblymen. They mustn't come and talk for themselves or talk for a political party. They must talk for the community. And the community must talk for the people. So when they come, when the politicians come, they're only talking about Tobago want. Because Tobago want this. And the ideas I'm bringing, if it is not for Tobago, I will open the lines and you will tell me which idea you don't want. And I will respect that and I will take it out. Because this is public consultation this morning. Public consultation. So once a month, your rep must meet with you. He's mandated. We amended the THA Act to say that. Yes. We are also amending the THA Act because the act is a simple majority act. You don't need no 3/5. All right, so anybody in power could amend the act to say that there will be an arm of the Auditor General Department in Tobago. The Auditor General Department right now is located in Trinidad alone. We want an Auditor General Department, full department here. Full staff department here. With a Deputy Auditor General sitting at the head. Because that department must be able to investigate every public organization or authority in Tobago. Investigate them. And be free to do your job. Without fear or favor, affection or ill will. Dig up everything. We're talking accountability. We are for that. And the last one. Last one here. We're saying the THA salaries must be determined by the THA. So when we start talking about everybody who's employed by THA, we don't depend on no CPO to negotiate for you. No. We must have our own personal officer here or deputy personal officer in case may be here. At the end of the day, all salaries in Tobago are determined by Tobago. You ask yourself, will it be too much to pay? I believe in Tobago we can get better paid salaries than Trinidad. I believe so. It's too much of wickedness and politics in Trinidad. I believe that if you're working, you must be paid well. I believe that. As on point number 10, we are going to open the economy. All right? In Tobago, in the first 30 days. How are we going to open the economy? We are going to review as a next bill the foreign investment bill or some stupidness like that. That persons who want to invest foreign currency in Tobago or engage in foreign direct investment, they must go through Trinidad. Nonsense. If you want to engage in direct foreign investment, come directly to the House of Assembly. All right? We will amend that. Come, right there for me, please, Mr. Don't make them things skip you. Can we open the line just now? We will amend those things. This is some kind of stupid law they create. These P&M wretched people. A law that says you can't sell the land. A law that says that people can't sell land and this kind of stuff to tourists. We are saying that while we are saying we are going to put things in place that people can sell out Tobago to tourists, we will also open and amend the law that those decisions must be made right here in Tobago and not in Trinidad. Because right now, those decisions have been made in Trinidad. Those decisions must be made in Tobago. And those decisions must not be made willy-nilly or politically. It must be made on certain factors. So we'll be saying, if a tourist is buying land for this purpose and that purpose, it will be allowed. Or this amount of land, it would be allowed. We have to be able to do these things. Point number 10, we're talking about opening up the economy. Open up the economy. What caused an economy to open up is direct foreign investment. People come in and set up shop, doing business. It's opening up the CARICOM jetty. Yes. Creating a deep water harbor. Yes. And I will go into all those things. We're talking about the first 30 days. We're doing the first 30 days. Because deep water harbor coming in. That coming. But I'll talk about a different day. The first 30 days, we are going to ensure that the grants that they have been given out to business people, a new set of rules are created, and every man is a businessman in Tobago. Even if I'm making Mobi and sell, we will be trying to get the best Mobi makers, the best lime juice makers. Whatever you're doing, you're making Praco tea. Whatever you're doing, you're making Fex broom. Whatever you're doing, once we can see we can make money out of it, the TH will be pumping money into your business. And we will be getting the professionals to come down from outside of Tobago and different places to ensure your business get the right start. We're not giving them money and leave you. We're not doing that. So the first 30 days, you have heard it. We get more things to talk. But now, I want to go to the lines. I want to play for my PDP Forever DJ. DJ, give me a PDP Forever there. Give me a scratch up and a mix up and give them some tune there. When I come back, we're going online. 717-9591. 717-9591. Folks, I love this program. I love talking to you. Talk to me. Take a little bit of music and I'll be right back with you.
For far too long, Tobago been crying out. PNM completes the next term, and we still crying out. PDP forever and ever. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a disaster. Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games, hey! But East and West, please listen to me. Yeah, either way, it's 2020. Watson, Polk and Tashia Boris. Flush away, PNM in the toilet. All they want is we vote and to full their pocket. But people before politics, that is we are stick. The needs of the people is the priority. Too much roof done cover, fisherman boat fix. PDP, forever and never. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a displeasure. No, but Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games. For far too long, Tobago been crying out. PNM completes the next term, and we still crying out. PDP forever.
All right. So the numbers to call are 717-9591. We take your calls now. You have heard the first 30 days. We're not going to know 100 days slack man kind of nonsense. We're taking the 30 days. I've showed up this morning for a job. Tashia Grace Morris showed up this morning for a job. We want the job. We have been working for you with the little resources we have. Tell us, will you give us the job? Yes, good morning.
Mr. Duke, I spoke to you yesterday. I want that tune, Meet Me on the Pavement. You pull it up?
All right, you're going to get that coming up there.
All right, then.
Yeah, nice man.
You're on board?
Yeah, man, good.
Yeah, take care.
I want you to play a tune for me, Raise, by Fian. But only one the part, the chorus. I say, Raise. Because I want Rolly to meet me on the pavement. On August 11th. Alright, so find out for me. Raise. And look the chorus statement, please. So we're going here now. 71 91.9fm. I know you all are listening. This morning is very intense this morning. And there's a lot of person online. Talk to me this morning. The government's supposed to represent the people. If I'm not representing you, let me know. If what I've said this morning reflects with you, the WhatsApp, this and that, let me know also. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Hudson. How are you going?
Not too bad, my dear.
All right, lovely. Shampa all the way.
Thank you very much. That was Shampa. Shampa, could you acting calling for yourself there a while ago? Calling for yourself. Oh, Shampa calling for herself. What kind of loneliness is this? I know your voice. Calling to say Shampa all the way. Are you looking for a worker or a joker? Are you looking for someone to fix the potholes in 30 days? Someone to ensure Wassa doesn't dig up the road and leave it and mash up your car? Are you looking for someone that will hold the THA under the strictest accountability and that kind of stuff? Let me hear from you all this morning. Good morning.
Champagne and all the way.
Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Oh, my. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
What's in you?
Yes, sir.
Good, man. I wish you the best for August, the 10th. I believe you will make a difference in Tobago. I see you have a love for the people and continue your good work. But I was thinking about that. What about putting a law that you can't take taxpayers' money and spend it on private contractors, so that the people, the government ministries could function 100%. They could create permanent jobs for people now. Hello?
All right, very good. I'll respond to that.
I don't think the PNM could do that. I don't think the UNC could do that. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I'll respond to that question I've raised.
That is a serious subject I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That would help the people of Tobago will get a good salary and work their 8 hours, demand service from them.
Yeah.
And they will love their country because why? Them they won't have to take care of it.
Lovely.
To be safe and everything. What causing the crime is poverty because they're withholding money from mostly the African and the Indian people in Trinidad and Tobago. That is the big problem right there. But Tobago could be an example to Trinidad, and hopefully they'll follow suit. Have a nice day, sir.
All right, so you raise a question whether we should withhold money from contractors. And that's the only... You have to pay contractors, first of all, right? You cannot not pay contractors. A country needs contractors. Contractors are also part of the private sector. They create their own employment for a whole number of people, so we need to pay contractors. What we need to do is to lessen down on the contract work in Tobago and start making persons permanent. And that's part of the long-term plan. In the first year, which I don't want to go to as yet, we will be making all contract workers permanent. I said in the first year, all contract workers have been starting with those who are 10 years and over and come all the way down, and we will be making them permanent. All right? We'll be ensuring that they put in their pound of flesh when the day comes. So it's not that we are against contract workers. We want serious job security. And I don't want to go too much on the job because I have to take off on that. I just want to keep it to these 10 issues here. We already said we are going to make salaries much better in Tobago because we want to determine salaries for ourselves. So the police salary, the fireman salary, we're talking about those persons in Tech, Wassa, civil servants, hospital. We will determine salaries here for ourselves. Why? Because we are asking for 10% of the national budget. 10% of the national budget. And we'll be doing it from a position of power, a position of strength. Let me just spend some time and talk to you a little bit today. I mean, let me rest the course for a while. Give me that tune again, this. And I'll tell you something right after this. Far too long. See, man, forever.
Too long, Tobago been crying out. PNM completes the next term, and we're still crying out. PDP forever and ever. I will never ever vote the oppressor, the slave master. What a disaster. Tobago, we are the head and not the tail. Let's demand the change. Set our speeches and promises again and again. To no avail. Election games. Hey. east and west, please listen to me. Prepare either way, it's 2020. Watson, Duke and Tashia Boris. Flush away, pen them in the toilet. All they want is we vote and to full their pocket. But people before politics, that is we are stick. The needs of the people is...
Good morning, good morning.
How much roof done?
Yeah.
Good morning. Yes, sir.
Morning, how are you?
I'm great, man.
Right. I want to call on behalf of the people in Tobago pertaining to agriculture. Will you really believe that the PNM killed agriculture in Tobago? For instance...
My friend, it's not a belief, it's a fact. It's a fact. It's not a belief. They have killed agriculture in Tobago and Trinidad.
Agriculture in Tobago. There were some roads that in those days, places in Palatove, Castara, come right down Maria, Devines Road, all these places, we used to call access roads. These roads were fixed, and not only fixed, they were maintained in those days, not only for food or for people getting production or produce, whatever you will call it. But these roads were maintained for those farmers, people with animals, with cows, with sheep, with goats. You understand? And people used to get, in those days, a lot of money, right? From even planting crops, coming in with the depot. Those people should hear about the depot used to ground, the boat used to ground the coast, Blue Star, and all these boats, City of Columbus or Columbia or whatever it is. I don't even remember the name. But these boats used to go and...
Thank you so much. And I've said that earlier. I said, look, we have had a good history with agriculture in this country. But the PNM, Dr. Evil, would have been the one responsible for destroying agriculture. They started with him.
You understand?
Dr. Evil.
The food basket.
Yes.
Tobago was the bread basket, the food basket for Trinidad. Peas, all these things. Peas, all these kind of things, crops, dashing, potato, name it. Right? Used to come from Tobago and going to Trinidad. Right? And look at what happened now. All these access roads turn wilderness. You know wilderness?
I understand you. And I'm
killed all.
I want to give you the assurance that agriculture is very big on our agenda. Very big on our agenda. Yeah. So I have several calls coming in, sir. After this, thank you so much for your contribution. You reinforce what you have been saying. And I pray to God you will live to see the change in agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice...
So, I'm saying, folks, I want Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, to meet me on the pavement of Parliament, on the 11th of August. And I'll explain that to you in a while again. I'll explain that to you in a while again, people. Let them meet me on the pavement. Hit me the Trinidad DJ. Wheel it in there for me. Like, wheel me on the pavement. Also ask the people of Trinidad and Tobago to meet us on the pavement on the 11th of August. Raise your voting finger, and if you're home, raise your voting finger. Raise your voting finger if you're home, and throw a waste or two. After you vote on August the 10th, and you come out for the PDP, raise your hand in the air and send it to him and take a picture and send it to the PDP. Just take a picture of your finger and mark PDP and post it. Send it on WhatsApp. PDP. PDP. Run the tune, keep it from me. Loose the tune from me, them man. Loose it there for me. Raise it. Raise it.
A new day on, infected on. No time for stalling. Let's go, let's go. Wake up everyone who's sleeping. Meet me on the road. New inspiration. No.
I want you to meet me on the road. First of all, on August 10th. Yesterday I was in Scarborough Liming and a very senior man, he said, look, Duke, I want you to play that tune for me. And he indeed called back in and he requested the tune. So this is why I'm playing the tune for that senior citizen, that's a senior man I should say, right in Scarborough. And let him know I want you to meet me on the pavement and meet me on the road. Fian, going on there. My people, this election, I said this is a spiritual one. It's not a flesh and blood election. And the things that I've said to you there, I only promised to you on the account that the PDP comes home with those 2 seats. Tobago West, Tashia Grace Barris, and Tobago East, Watson Solomon Duke. Colleagues, people of Tobago, I'm appealing to you today. You cannot vote for Ayana nor Shamfa. It's a waste of vote. Voting for these people is a total waste. For the last 5 years, what have they done for Tobago? How did they treat with the boat issue? How did they treat with the fact that you have to now pay a penalty of $50 to travel on the airline if your ticket doesn't correspond with the time you want to travel? How did they deal with that? How did they deal with the central bank issue? How did they deal with that? How did they deal with the fact that these truckers have to send their boat up, they have their vehicles up and catch a plane to come up the road? How do they deal with that? How do they deal with the cost of living in Tobago? How do they deal with the fact that agriculture is just not productive in Tobago? How do they deal with that? How do they deal with the many problems that there are so many leaking roofs in Tobago and so many monies are being given out, millions are being given out, and so many roofs needs to be fixed? So many people still using latrine. How do they deal with that fact? How do they deal with the fact that after COVID and the 55 million that was given out, many people are still hungry and they have not received a grant? How do they deal with that? They are failures. Good for nothing failures. And I knew that. In 2015, I warned you all. I said, don't put these little young girls there. They don't have the fight inside of them. They don't have the sense of direction. They are mere puppets, pull string puppets. That's what they're there for. You put them back in power, then what you are saying to all of us and what you are saying to the nation is that you do not value your life. You do not value a CARICOM jetty. That's what you're saying. If you put them back in power, you don't want a CARICOM jetty in Tobago. You want to go and buy a goods in Trinidad and come back up. You don't want to trade from Tobago. As a senior man said a while ago, there were millions of places that people should be trading from in Tobago here. Not millions, but scores of places around the island. Many ports of trading. There's none right now. None. We have to use a passenger boat. as the boat to we should put a few goods on. As a matter of fact, if the voting come, kiss bread and sell bread, how come kiss bread making so much money in Tobago here? What kind of nonsense is that? Is it that nobody can bake in Tobago? Is that nobody have a sweet hand in Tobago? That kiss bread to be all over the place, taking our money and sending it back down in Trinidad? How come Trinidad cigarettes selling across in Tobago here? And people buying it? How come we can't make cigarettes? How come we can't make nothing? How come man is going to buy coconut water from quite some fat boy, some little boy, something in Trinidad? So we can't sell one coconut water and bottle across here? So we can't trade it? We can't find a special breed of coconut and find a particular way so our coconut water could last longer? Why is it that we have become such a consumer society? When you vote for them, you are voting for us to remain a consumer society. Where are our marinas that they promise? How much money are we making from the places that are now in Cove? How reliable is our electricity supply? It is still blinking like Inky Blinky. When you vote for them, you're voting for that. What did they do about Sanders' issue? Nothing. They shut them out. What are they doing now about the airport issue? Nothing. They shut them out. When you vote for them, you're voting for silence of Tobagonians. And I say, those of you who vote for the silence of Tobagonians, you will be surprised. Because a whole bunch of Tobago, a whole bunch of us reject the silence. They want a voice in Trinidad. As Watson Solomon Duke, I have become a voice in this entire nation, Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm proud to say that. But I'm even more proud to say that I am a Tobago voice. And I am willing to use my voice in a very focused, reliable, and determined way to represent the people of Tobago. I am willing to use my voice for that. And I want you to give Tashia Grace Boris the opportunity to use her voice also in a focused, reliable, and determined way to represent you, the people of Tobago. I am one of the best negotiators in this country. One of the best. I'm not saying the best. I don't want to lift myself too high. I'm one of the best. Through my negotiating skills, the government have paid workers in excess of $10 billion. From the time I became president to now, over $10 billion the government has paid workers. I have negotiated all types of things for public officers in this country. All types of things for workers. Now I'm saying I'm putting that skills to work for you. Give me the opportunity. But I do not go to Trinidad alone. You can't send me and Shamfa to Trinidad. That is a madness. That is a real fight. Don't send me and Shamfa to Trinidad at all. Forget that folly. Well, I and Webster, she don't make the grade at all. She's a failure. Total failure. Alright? All they go to is to walk up and down the place and give out pamphlets. Pamphlets. And boast about how much people they give grant to. How much speed bumps they put down. I she claim to fame. I put down speed bumps by the school. You hear the minuscule folly? I put down speed bumps by the school. I help the women's group. That's what they're talking about. That's their claim to fame. We put a minister down there to be a legislator. And she's talking about speed bumps. Give out grants. Yeah? Help people with this community project. That's not your job. That's not your job. It reminds me of the Pussycat, Pussycat, where have you been? I've been to London to visit the Queen. Pussycat, Pussycat, what have you seen there? Won't expect the Pussycat to see the Queen because he went to London to see the Queen. So, Pussycat, Pussycat, what have you seen there? I frightened a little mouse under the chair. Why? Because all Pussycat could see is rats. That's their major interest. If Ayana's major interest is in putting down speed bumps and giving out charity, then she should open a NGO. non-government organization that goes about doing those charitable events. But what you are voting for is a legislator. What you are voting for is someone to represent the higher and ambitious ideals of our people. You can't find it in Shamfa. You can't find it in Ayana. Do not send me down the road with Shamfa. I don't want that. The Bible says you cannot be unequally yoked. Shamfa and I are unequally yoked. She is too weak to carry the burden of Tobago. You're one person with guts, with some grit, with some gall. Yeah. You're one person like Tashia Grace Boris. Some person with commitment. Some person with some gusto, some fight. You don't want these people who all spend all their every day's gym, running up and down, measuring on the scale, jump off the scale, go back on the scale. Like Shamfa, how she lives her life? Every day is gym. Shamfa, why you running so far? Does she have heart problems? Cardio problems? Just to look good. Well, I don't know if you send down somebody to parliament to look good. You send somebody in parliament to represent you good. And they have not done the job. I'm appealing to you now. I'm asking Rowley to reach me on the road on the 11th. Don't reach me before that. Reach me on the road on the 11th. Because the way I look chewing up on my name like Wrigley. I swear I'm more important to you than certain people in our life. Everything is juke, calling my name. On the 11th, you'll be calling me Mr. Prime Minister. And let me say this clear. In the last few minutes here, put in the string, vote PDP for me. Because I'm about to make a serious declaration here. And I know my cousin Cora said, don't sell out your hand. But Auntie Cora, Cousin Cora, if you listen to me, be transparent. I want to say, I'm going to do it. So I want to put it plainly to the table here. They could do what they want, and I'm prepared for any foul play. You have it? But let me take some music and I'll come back and I'll drop a mark right here. I'll bust a mark. Why I am looking at certain things.
Right now we are say Watson D for the east, Tasha B for the west.
Straight out in a star.
Yo, this I no joke. Vote. This I no joke. Vote.
You see right now.
This I no joke. Say we a vote PDP, cause we want betterment, yeah, for we country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, PNM them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, full time me try feed Duke, Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, kick out, pressure pot rolling. 5 years, no worry session. Tell me with the L pressure pot. Roll it up on him, not give it with the right, but him a take it with the left. And tell me with the LTH, he do it 2.2 billion. And the people in Tobago, pure sufferation. And the worst government me ever see govern. Raging bull with no direction. All me a see a just bad intention. And me na talk no lie, me a speak the truth. From Kelville, Charles signing them, the pan you. Now I walk up and the youth and him a try get the youth. They would lie, them a just blow me a talk the truth, me nah talk no lie. Instead them risk pay, only food I get and poor people a cry. Me ask them why. And we a vote PDP, cause we want betterment, yeah, for we country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, PNM them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, full time we try to pay Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, kick out, pressure pot rolling. PDP,
Yes, my people, yes, my people. Let me tell you this. Watson Duke is no fool. And I'm putting it out there. Oh, shucks. I could have the computers. Everything right? Good. Yeah. Good. I'm putting it out there right now for those of you who are concerned about what Watson Duke will do on the 11th, should he have those 2 seats. I want to make it plain. Dr. Rowley and I are not friends. Kamala Prasad, Bissessa and I are not friends. Should you give us those 2 seats, my next move, our next move, will be based on the election results in Trinidad. If for some reason in Trinidad the results are where we have a landslide victory for either party, PNM or UNC, we will not be rushing to join anybody as any scapegoat. And there's a reason for that. When you join those team down there, that is just use it for votes only, and they disrespect you. I will not be disrespected by those 39 seats of Trinidad. I will not allow Tobago to be disrespected by those 39 seats of Trinidad. So if there's a landslide victory in Trinidad, for either party, let it govern. But I have a next plan for them, where we're going to punish them. But I ain't seen that plan yet. We're going to deal with them when I declare run the government. But we will deal with them in a different way. However, listen to this, however now. However, if the results are 2019 for either side, I don't care who. 2019, what we have is a minority government. And what I mean is that the 20 seats by itself, they could declare they have the majority. But when you add the 2 seats to the 19, they become the majority. So we call the 20 seats the minority government. But with the 2 plus the 19, you have 21, so that makes the real government. We now have what we call a situation. A situation. And if you give us those 2 seats, I will assure you, we do not want any position but the top position in government. Top position. 1, Prime Minister. And I'm not going to say next one. I will do it as a googly ball. Why do we want Prime Minister? Because if you're a Prime Minister, they can't fire you. If we take any other position, I'm telling you now, I don't want to, I will not give our power away for any other position. Kamala Prasad Bissessa, hear me out. Rowley, hear me out. If Tobago have the 2 seats, and these 2 seats are the balance of power, as the most likely will be, Watson Duke will be Prime Minister. Why? Because I'm a national figure, both in Trinidad and Tobago. Matter of fact, I'm a regional and international figure, both in Trinidad, Tobago, Caribbean, and the wider world. Watson Duke is a national figure. 2, I have the experience. I've governed a large and complex organization called the public service, called the public sector workers, called the workers of Trinidad and Tobago. I've survived any kind of battle that a man could possibly survive. And I've come out without any dirt on me. I've come out. All right? So I'm far experienced. In fact, I'm more experienced than Rowley. Rowley has no experience on the ground. What he has experienced is being an uppity kind of a black man, who, when he have a right in Port of Spain, turns around, twirls his thumbs, and asks, what going on there? The writing? That's the kind of uppity prime minister we have. He doesn't feel for the people. He's barbaric, he's inhumane, he's insensitive, and he's derogative. You gotta look at word on all your day. Right? The man is not good at all, he's classless. And only put him in charge of the government for 5 years. Classless! Kamala Prasad Bissessa. I don't want to beat them down. But no, she's no better than Watson Duke. She belongs to a particular place where they govern. But when they govern, they govern without control of the government. So I can't say she's corrupt. But they govern with a group of people who are now deemed by all and sundry as corrupt. So if you are the political leader, you are the prime minister and you govern over that, are you better off than me? Is she a grounds person? Who is there to direct the grounds? Who would the ground respect? They have grown up sheltered. They have grown up isolated, perfect, and righteous in all their ways, so it seems. I've grown up as a root out of dry ground. I've grown up hard, tough, rough, and make my own space with God help Almighty, me make it. I represent the ground. I also represent the intellectuals of our society. Because when I see me in a different forum and I'm not battling, I level with them. Right now, my work is to consult with ministers, consult with PSs. You don't consult with anybody higher than that. That's who I consult with on a daily basis. That's my job. So I'm an intellectual also. I can deal at that level. But more than that, I'm a man with a heart for the people. If I accept anything less than that, they will fire me. I can't open my mouth. And any government minister that gets fired could hardly catch themselves unless the people feel sorry for you. All right? So in the case of Robinson, he couldn't catch himself. Robinson had to come out and form a party in Tobago to catch himself back when he was fired. But that should not have been the destruction of Robinson. Rowley, when he was fired from the cabinet, he couldn't catch himself. But because Manning failed in the election, he got a second chance at life. They gave him a chance. I'm saying to you, anybody who's fired from a cabinet cannot make it unless they become prime minister. All right? When Pandey was fired from our cabinet, he had to form something. This puts you on a dangerous path. Once you're fired, you can't catch yourself. It's not. Then again, if you're fired in a sense where you have the balance of power, I ain't trust no government. They might kill me down there. Me ain't trust one of them. Me ain't trust PNM. Me ain't trust UNC. You feel weak, me and Tash could go down there with our 2 seats and play with threatening government and tell me if I get Tobago this. You will see something. We ain't voting for them. They will pass us out in our drinking water. If you ask Miss Visine, she will say put Visine in the water. You'll get diarrhea. Because she have all kind of techniques and tonic. Miss Visine, how to kill people and how to make people diarrhea and all kind of stuff. I don't know where she get that nonsensical thing from. But I don't trust them. If it comes down to where a landslide victory in Trinidad, we want no part of them. Let them continue foolishness. I tell you straight, Kamala and Rowley, if all win landslide, fine. Be down there with all the folly. We will find a different way to get what Tobago wants. But we're coming and we're coming strong. I never told you how we're coming, but we're becoming very, very strong. More noisier than we are now. Prepare for battle, but we're coming very strong. That's already worked out. That's the S on my chest. I wouldn't let out. But if there is a victory for both parties, and where the PDP has the 2 seats, and it depends on us to make somebody the king, then we will make ourselves the king, because we're not trusting anybody to protect our backs. And this is why I'm saying, Tobago, be prepared for a hung jury in Trinidad and for us to be king. I don't want to be no president. I don't want to be no finance minister. I don't want to be no attorney general. I don't want to be no minister of labor. I don't want to be no minister of Tobago affairs. I don't want no kind of folly. I want to be in charge. Because when I'm in charge, Tobago going to get the 10%. When I'm in charge, Wassa will have to understand what time it is with Tobago and Trinidad. All this folly will come to an end. When I'm in charge, the PNM cannot be the same and the UNC cannot be the same, folks. Today I say to you, vote PDP. I want to close the chapter off and say to you this. If you want to hear more about our plans and you want to hear these plans rehash, We're going to put them up on my Facebook page today. All right? Let me give myself some time at least. Before the weekend, I will do a little snippet with that, a little video with that, where I put them out. And it'll be circulating a 30-day plan. That plan is contingent on us having those 2 seats. On Saturday night, 7:30 p.m., the PDP will be at Gardenside. And at Gardenside, we will be having a cinematic experience, a drive-in cinema meeting. Drive in with your car and you will see a big screen up where we'll be conducting our meetings, public meetings, COVID style. They pay them to have that style. They will try to thief it. You will drive in with your car, parking in your car. You will turn your radio on to 91.9 Tobago, and you will see us on a big screen talking, and you will see us in front of you. We'll also be having refreshments available for those of you who are coming, but you can walk with your own refreshments also, your own cooler in your vehicle, your own food. It's a line. Saturday night line at, where I said, folks? Let me hear you. That's right, at Gardenside Car Park in Scarborough. 7:30 sharp. Come with your car, come with your chair, and let's engage in a COVID meeting re-election 2020. After that meeting on Saturday night, our next meeting will be at Roxborough on Sunday night. That's right. Sunday night, our next meeting will be at Roxborough. And our next meeting on Monday will be at Speyside. I want you all to hear me and hear me well, my people. We are prepared to represent Tobago. And we are not talking just on the radio. We are talking out loud, and we are saying to you, we are going to meet you on the road. We are going to meet you wherever we have to meet you. But be prepared to meet us. So Saturday night, Gardenside Car Park, Scarborough, 7:30. Sunday night, public meeting, Sid Grey Car Park. It's a cinema meeting, drive-in meeting. A big, big screen up in the sky. That will be at 6:30. And on Sunday and Monday, Luciville Speyside. That will be at 6:30 in the week, 6:30. So Sunday meeting at Roxborough and Monday meeting at Speyside is 6:30. But Saturday meeting will be at Gardenside, 7:30. Come out and witness a meeting as I've never seen it. Big screen. That's a PDP cinematic meeting on Saturday, live and direct. Come on here, Farley Augustine. Yeah, Watson Joke. Yeah, my good friend Tashia Grace Burris, represent Tobago West. We are ready for the job. Give us the job. Now I'll take one more call before I wrap up. No long talking today. One more call. Tell me if you like what you hear and if you're supporting PDP. All right? Now let me go to some vote PDP.
In Tobago, pure sufferation. And it was government me ever see govern. Region.
Right now we are say Watson D for the East, Tasha B for the West.
Straight out in a star.
Yo, this I no joke. Vote. This I no joke. Vote.
You see right now.
This I no joke. Say we a vote PDP, cause we want betterment, yeah, for we country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, PNM them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, full time me try feed Duke, Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, kick out pressure pot rolling. 5 years no worry session. Tell me with the L pressure pot. Roll it up and him not give it with the right, but him a take it with the left. And tell me with the LTH he do it 2.2 billion. And the people in Tobago, pure sufferation. And it was government me ever see govern. Raging bull with no direction. All me a see a just bad intention. And me na talk no lie, me a speak the truth from Kel.
Yes, remember my numbers are 717-9591. Only one call, I want one call. 717-9591. One call, and that's it for today. Alright? Tomorrow, I'll ask someone to hold on for me tomorrow as I have some government business to see about tomorrow. But definitely, the program will be on and someone will be holding for me tomorrow. So here we have the final call. Good day.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I love what I'm hearing. Can't wait for the 10th.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Person said, love what they're hearing. They can't wait for the 10. And that's it, people. That's it. That is it.
We and them are blind, we never want. We know the truth about what them do with money. So kick out, fresh up and roll it. Vote with the P, we are vote with the P, cause we want better men. Jeff, this is no joke. Vote with the P, we are vote with the P, P and them never do nothing for we. Vote with the P, we are vote with the P, full time we try to face Mr. Marley. Vote with the P, we are vote.
We are ready for the job. Tashia Grace Barris and myself, Watson Duke. We are ready to walk the highways and the byways. We are ready to expose corruption. We are ready to sacrifice ourselves that Tobago could live. 2020 represents 40 years since the THA has been in existence, and 40 years we have not passed one law. 40 years we have gone from bad to worse. 40 years we are still without a cruise ship complex. 40 years we are still without a cargo port. 40 years there is still no proper market throughout Tobago, in Scarborough, nor Roxborough, no proper market. 40 years, there is no CNG plant in Tobago. 40 years, folks have to still wait until morning to come from Trinidad to Pierce in Tobago. 40 years, we continue to be mocked and laughed at. 40 years, people see us as stupidity, bubbly, good for nothing, because we're only asking. 40 years, we have sent out the best fighters to Trinidad, and 40 years they come back with their tail cut. 40 years they have spoken all the nice things during the election, but after the elections they forget you and they went and do their own thing. I'm saying it's time to break the spell. You want a man who rough, a man who crude, a man who want to owner, but the people of Tobago. I want you to be my owner. Tashia Grace Barris wants you to be her owner. Do not send me down the road, because the people of Tobago East are convinced already. I going down, I tell her straight. It's a foregone conclusion for Tobago East. I am going to Trinidad to look at Dr. Rowley in the eye and say, I am here. Do something. I hear I reach. Let me say do something. You're big, you're bad, do something. Because let me tell you something about the parliament. The parliament has its own laws. Right? And the parliament protects what takes place in the parliament. So when I go down and I say, I am here, I want to see what you're going to do. All the threats they're giving out. I am here. What you gonna do? The people of Tobago, they are sending me down to represent them and be a voice for the East. It will be a sad day for you to send me down with Star Girl Shamfa Kojo. I do not want to go down there with a girl who spent excess time in the gym, running up and down the place, squeezing the waist with waistband, waist trainers. I am not ready for that. Wearing red heels, hair extensions. Oh my gosh. Is it a fashion show? Is it a fashion show? Or is it about representation? Tobago, Trinidad, Caribbean, I'll going to get out of here. But I get out to now go on to some other books and be seeing on my Facebook. I'm busy today, up and down the place today. I want you to get ready to support us, please. Please, please. Vote PDP. Vote PDP.
Vote. This I no joke. Vote, say we are vote. Full time for them get this I no joke. Vote. What me say? This I no joke.
Right now we are say Watson D for the East, Tasha B for the West.
Straight out in a star.
Yo, this I no joke. Vote. This I no joke. Vote.
You see right now.
This I no joke. Say we a vote PDP, we a vote PDP, cause we want better men to every country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, PNM them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, full time me try feed Duke Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, kick out pressure pat Rowley.
5 years, no worry session. Tell me with the L pressure pot. Roll it up on him, not give it with the right, but him take it with the left. And tell me with the LTH, he do it 2.2 billion. And the people in Tobago, pure sufferation. And the worst government me ever see govern. Raging bull with no direction. All me a see a just bad intention. And me na talk no lie, me a speak the truth. From Kelville, Charles signing them upon you. Now I walk up and the youth and them a try get the youth. They would lie, them a just blow me a talk the truth, me na talk no lie. Instead them risk pay, only food I get. And poor people a cry. Me ask them why. And we a vote PDP, we a vote PDP, cause we want betterment here for we country. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, PNM them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, full time we try to pay Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, kick out, pressure pot rolling. PDP, 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 I just the PDP. PNM, no do nothing for we. Positivity, it burns all negativity. PNM, them only coming with the negativity. Don't get caught up in the light, they put in front your eyes to see. Look how long PNM are blind, we never want. We know the truth about what them do with money. So kick out, pressure pot rolling. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, cause we want betterment, yeah, this is no joke. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, PNM, them never do nothing for we. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, full time we try to face Mr. Farley. Vote PDP, we a vote PDP, kick out, pressure pot rolling. Vote, this I don't know, this I don't know, this I don't know true. Vote, say we a vote. Full time for them get this I don't know, this I don't know true. Vote, what me say? This I don't know, this I don't know true. Vote, kick out, pressure pot rolling.
Right now we are say Watson D for the east, Tasha B for the west.
Raining soca every day, Street 91.9
FM Tobago.
Protect your life, even if you walk with a little pen knife. The 19 never left my side. I'ma pray every night before I shut me eyes.
DJ and them can't take we life. Real recognize real, we not two-faced, no. The thugs them not two-faced, no. Watch out now, let me tell you about the places, tell you about the faces, man. Know. You see the things I'm do. Bad mind people, them want hurt my heart, yeah, man. Know. CJ and yeah, man. Know.
Watch yourself in the street, young girls. Enough bad mind wants to win a hearse, dog. While we down in a mud. Me no want see no R.I.P. So protect your life, even if you walk with a little pen knife. The 19 never left my side. I'ma pray every night before I shut me eyes.
CJ and them can't take we life. Real recognize real, we not two-faced, no. The thugs them not two-faced, no.
Big up my dear one dogs, first brat. Boy violate them get 4 clutch, back, dick, pan it.